This is a car that I've owned for 6 years. It's a 2014 Ford Fiesta. It served me well, but recently it's been in rougher shape. It was recently hit while sitting in a parking lot. I went in and came back out and saw this. I brought it to the shop and they quoted a ridiculous price to replace and fix the parts, so I decided to repaint it myself. So starting out, you can see that I started going around the rear bumper with some sandpaper. I scratched the surface to allow the primer some surface to stick to. I taped around the area with some scotch tape. Since this is going to be a really quick fix, I only needed to cover up a few inches around the area. I put on the first coat of primer and noticed that I should have shaken the bottle a little bit longer. As you can see, some of the beads of primer clump up and are sticking to the surface. No problem though, we can just bring in some finer grit sandpaper and reduce those hills. For my coat, this is a Ford UJ exterior paint. It's also known as glossy metallic silver. If you want to do this yourself, you can find out what paint you should use for your car by looking at the driver's side door sticker. So I did 2 coats of color, and then I added 2 coats of clear coat to seal in the work that I had done. Next, I worked on the side door. I actually did these 2 sides back to back, so the recording is not in chronological order. So I know what you're thinking. Why did I make the tape so jagged? And the answer is, I wasn't thinking. Well, sometimes you gotta learn something the hard way, and today was the day for me. If you're repainting a car with spray cans, it is likely that there's gonna be some contrast between the part that you spray and the paint that's been there for 10 years and is 10 years old now. But for me, for this commute car, this satisfies what I wanted. Alright, so here's the other side of the car. This part of the car was actually pushed into a wall. The wall's completely fine, but as you can see, my frame got bent a little bit near the driver's side rear door. Next, I prepared similar to the last area by scuffing the surface and to prepare for the primer. I was sick of doing the sandpaper by hand, so I went and pulled out my wood sander and scuffed it up. To all of you watching out there, why don't you take a guess at what the shop quoted to fix just this part of the car? So not the part before, just this part. Alright, you got your number? Well, if you quoted somewhere around 3,300, you're pretty close, because that's what they were doing. Yep, they wanted to take off the doors, put on new doors, and repaint this entire half of the car. I didn't want to pay that, so I'll just stick to doing the spray painting myself. I think this will turn out good enough for me anyways. Next, I sprayed the last part of the color paint. Unfortunately, because I'd already been painting, I ran out, and I didn't want to run to the store, so luckily I was able to get about 1.5 coats there. I didn't have any more time in the day, so I just got to push forward here, and went with the clear coat. Finally, with the 2 clear coats on, called it a day. I think that, especially on this side with the door, as the door ends, I think the contrast is a lot closer, and it turned out pretty well. I'm happy with this as the first time trying to repaint my car. So I enjoyed doing it. I hope you enjoyed watching as well. That being said, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.